Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. Don't hit at all if it is honorably possible to avoid hitting. But never hit soft. It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed. If you've got them by the balls, their hearts and minds will follow. Believe you can and you're halfway there. Politeness is a sign of dignity, not subservience. When you're at the end of your rope, tie a knot and hold on. The reason fat men are good-natured is they can neither fight nor run. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Comparison is the thief of joy. The only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything. The joy in life is his who has the heart to demand it. To educate a person in the mind but not in morals is to educate a menace to society. If given the choice between righteousness and peace, I choose righteousness. Knowing what's right doesn't mean much unless you do what's right. No man is justified in doing evil on the ground of expediency. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Character, in the long run, is the decisive factor in the life of an individual and of nations alike. If you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month. Patriotism means to stand by the country. It does not mean to stand by the president or any other public official. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. Far and away the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. I am a part of everything that I have read. A great democracy has got to be progressive or it will soon cease to be great or a democracy. Every immigrant who comes here should be required within 5 years to learn English or leave the country. No man should receive $1 unless that dollar has been fairly earned. A vote is like a rifle. Its usefulness depends upon the character of the user. Order without liberty and liberty without order are equally destructive. Never throughout history has a man who lived a life of ease left a name worth remembering. I am only an average man, but by George, I work harder at it than the average man. A man who has never gone to school may steal a freight car, but if he has a university education, he may steal the whole railroad. Every reform movement has a lunatic fringe. When you play, play hard. When you work, don't play at all. The worst of all fears is the fear of living. A man's usefulness depends upon his living up to his ideals. For those who fight for it, life has a flavor the sheltered will never know. Aggressive fighting for the right is the noblest sport the world affords. Courtesy is as much a mark of a gentleman as courage. Black care rarely sits behind a rider whose pace is fast enough. No man is above the law, and no man is below it. A thorough knowledge of the Bible is worth more than a college education. I put myself in the way of things happening, and they happened. There can be no life without change, and to be afraid of what is different or unfamiliar is to be afraid of life. Nothing worth having comes easy. With self-discipline, most anything is possible. All the resources we need are in the mind. Don't trust a friend who tells you that you are the best. It may be true that he travels farthest who travels alone, but the goal thus reached is not worth reaching. This country will not be a good place for any of us to live in unless we make it a good place for all of us to live in. I have a perfect horror of words that are not backed up by deeds. It is true of the nation, as of the individual, that the greatest doer must also be a great dreamer. Each one must do his part if we wish to show that the nation is worthy of its good fortune. It tires me to talk to rich men. You expect a man of millions, the head of a great industry, to be a man worth hearing. But as a rule, they don't know anything outside their own business. It is better to have it and need it, than to need it and not have it. There is quite enough sorrow and shame and suffering and baseness in real life, and there is no need for meeting it unnecessarily in fiction. Nine-tenths of wisdom consists in being wise in time. Complaining about a problem without posing a solution is called whining. I have never in my life envied a human being who led an easy life. I have envied a great many people who led difficult lives and led them well. Great thoughts speak only to the thoughtful mind, but great actions speak to all mankind. The lack of power to take joy in outdoor nature is as real a misfortune as the lack of power to take joy in books. It is no use to preach to children if you do not act decently yourself. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people.